traveling in Motor feet.
This is Lakota, Sioux. Here it is. Yeah, we can check it out.
But I want to cut out like feet.
No, I can go check it out.
Sẽ phải nữa mà mùi ạ. Nó hay nó khá nè cho nó. Khá cho chị khá nhau thử chạy trong đi nào. Những đâu phụ trưởng mới chạy nhau đi nào nè.
This is Warrigal's grandson, and I'm his great-great-grandson. This picture is from 1885. This is Chief Hump, the son of Chief Hump. My great-grandfather's name is Iawashte, which means beautiful voice or good voice. His English name is Andrew Traversy, and in this picture he's serving as Chief Hump's interpreter. By age 16, he spoke 3 different languages. He spoke Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, Porosele, François, and English. So if there's any veterans or anybody still serving, I'd like to sing in your honor and thank you for your service. I just told you I'm a direct descendant of 2 chiefs, Chief Warrigal and Chief Swiftcloud, but I'm also a very, very proud grandson of a grandfather who flew 96 missions in a P-47 and became a lieutenant colonel in the United States Air Force, and my father served in the Navy as well, and I sing it in their honor as well. After I'm done singing the song, I'll give you the translations of the lyrics, and then I'd like to acknowledge a few more American heroes. But of course, if I'm acknowledging American heroes, I could be here all day long because we have so many different skin tones, backgrounds, but all American. So here is the Lakota American flag song. So the lyrics of the song simply state that there's a grandfather to the east. This grandfather has a pole that stands up tall. On that pole, there's a flag that waves without end. It says standing underneath that flag will bring strength and unification to the people. So the last lyrics of the song and the last lyrics that the warrior composed, he said, Le chamu alo, I will do this. I will stand underneath this flag and bring strength and unification to the people. And when we think about our great American flag and our great American country, we need to think about some of our great American heroes. And I have to give you guys a little insight. I have 2 intentions when I give these presentations up here. My first, after I'm done playing the melody, I'd like to acknowledge this great American hero, share some of my language with you, and then you guys can guess which one of these pictures I am a direct descendant of. So here's for all the mothers, the aunties, and the grandmothers, as we can look at these lodges and know that that's who put those up. notice I have these little pictures of these other great American heroes, and I have 1800s and the height of assimilation. She was sent on a train from South Dakota to Carlisle Indian boarding school. When she arrived at that boarding school, she didn't like to see the treatment of the children, and she didn't like to see the treatment she was receiving herself. So she wanted to make a difference. After she finished her education, she got her higher education and became a teacher at that school. While receiving her higher education, she became a musician. She learned how to play the violin. She played the violin so fine that the President of the United States asked for her to come to Washington, D.C. and play for him at the White House. Still to this day, she is the only Lakota woman who has ever composed an opera that has been performed on Broadway in New York City. Her publications, Stories of Our People, can still be found in libraries all over the world. She goes by the penmanship of Zit Kala Shah, which means Red Bird Woman. But the last years of her life are the true American perseverance story. Just like she witnessed the treatment of the children at the boarding school, she witnessed the treatment of people in the cities and all those things, and she didn't like that. So what did she want to do? She wanted to make a difference. So she spent the rest of the years of her life living in Washington, D.C., fighting for two groups to have civil rights. A lot of Americans are unfamiliar of this fact, but most of my grandparents, and maybe some of your grandparents, were not even citizens of the United States until 1924. That goes to show that the song that I was saying for you was composed after World War I. So a lot of those soldiers who participated in World War I who were Native were not even citizens of the United States, but they fought just as hard and just as proud. Who else got the right to vote in this country in the 1920s? What was that?
Women.
Huh?
Women.
All right, because you guys realize how many countries there are around the world where women still do not have any rights at all. And as Americans, we must be honest, through a lot of effort and trials and tribulations in the 1960s, then all women got the right to vote. Initially, it was first to European descent women. But one of those champion women who were fighting for that fight, and very good friends with Susan B. Anthony in the women's suffrage movement, but not seen in the pictures too much, was a Lakota woman from right here in South Dakota. That great American hero and that tribal citizen, in Lakota, her name is Zit Kala Shah, which means Redbird Woman. In English, her name is Gertrude Simmons Bonnet. She is truly an American hero and a tribal citizen. And she would tell you that not only does she represent her nation, but she represents all women, and no man can hold her back. Today, and I truly feel once I teach it to you, you've already known it, it's been written on your heart, you just have to accept it. Can you guys all say Mitakuya? Oyasi. Mitakuya? Oyasi. And I'm a certified language teacher, so I do know 3 times could lead to some retainment. So one more time, Mitakuya? Oyasi. What Mitakuya Oyasi literally translates into English is, no matter what color skin tone you have, hair color, or eye color, we are all related. So we don't judge each other by what we look like or where we come from, but we judge each other by our character, because that's what truly counts. And remember, all life is sacred and precious and a gift. And we don't have a word in Lakota for goodbye because we don't believe in goodbyes. We believe life is a mimela, it's a circle that never ends. So when we depart from friends and loved ones and new relatives, we say the term Doksha. Can you guys say Doksha? Doksha. One more time, Doksha. Doksha. All right, 3 times for retainment, Doksha. Doksha. And Doksha simply means I will see you later. So Doksha akewa chiam kinktelo. Leam petukile omani washtektelo. Wopila tanka e chichapolo. Thank you guys so much for coming up this morning, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and learn to walk in beauty. And if you're here earlier, I told you I'm a direct descendant of 2 chiefs, Chief Warrigal and Chief Swiftcloud. So if you ever go through Sioux City, Iowa, there's a statue of a chief holding a pipe across the Missouri River and the Big Sioux River. That is Chief Warrigal. If you look at this young man in the face and you look at me in the face, you're going to see a lot of similarities. This is Warrigal's grandson, and I'm his great-great-grandson. This picture is from 1885. This is Chief Hump, the son of Chief Hump. Right there, your grandfather's name is Eawashte, which means good voice. His English name is Andrew Traversey, and he served as his interpreter in 1885. Both are related to Tashunka Witko, to Crazy Horse. So there's one line of my grandfather's, but I also told you that I'm a direct descendant of Swiftcloud. Swiftcloud was at the Greasy Grass, was Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, 2 Moons, Dole Knife, Lone Wolf, Rain in the Face, Gull, Antelope, Black Hole, all of these famous warriors during the time of the Battle of Little Bighorn. But a lot of people don't realize that the history books will tell you that there was thousands and thousands of warriors that engulfed Custer in the 7th Cavalry on that day. I'm going to tell you that's physically impossible. Why? Because 8 years prior to that, that picture right there represents some representatives who signed a treaty in 1868 called the 1868 Fort Laramie Treaty that established two agencies, Red Cloud Agency and Spotted Tail Agency, which in modern times is Pine Ridge Reservation and Rosebud Reservation. So you can see physically thousands and thousands of our people were already on reservation land. The group up at the Greasy Grass were made of 3,500. Of those 3,500, there were Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho. Within those 3,500, only 1,500 were warriors, and they were both male and female. The rest of the 2,000 that were living up there, the citizens living up there, were mothers, aunties, grandmothers, and grandfathers, and children. And one of those children that was running around at that camp at that time was my great-great-grandmother, who also looked a lot alike. And her name is Hiluntawi, which means red-haired girl, because you could see where the sun had bleached the top of her hair from being out in the plains so much. She was 9 years old at the time of the Battle of Little Bighorn, and she lived to be 102. So if you look at all those pictures that are out in the airport out there, you'll see that all of those survivors of the Battle of Little Bighorn all lived into their 90s and their early 100s. And boy, have things changed since those times. So if you're curious about where I share my history and my language and my culture from, it comes directly from my grandmothers and my grandfathers. So again, thank you guys so much for coming up and listening this morning.